Okay, this is going to be about my 15th attempt on this video. It has been a good night filming in the Moran household. This is featuring my Aphonopelma schmidti, or Superstition Mountain Blonde. I picked this one up in October of 2013 from Jamie's Tarantulas as a sexed juvenile. She immediately took to digging. Unlike other species that will burrow, I know she burrowed and then was never satisfied with her burrow, so kept changing her burrow. Kind of reminded me of G. pulchripes in terms of behavior. Just kept bulldozing things. It was really kind of cute. Proved to be a kind of a finicky eater. She would only for a little while eat things that were very, very small, much smaller than I usually feed tarantulas their size. And I noticed behavior. I started giving her pre-killed because she seemed to be scared of things that were live. And she'd eat some days and not eat others, which was odd behavior for me because most of my tarantulas either ate or they didn't eat. So it was weird to kind of see her just be finicky and eat one day and not the next. In December, early December, late November, early December 2013, she buried herself completely, and I thought she might have been getting ready to molt. But then time passed, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and she finally reemerged on April 14th, 2014. Now, why I mentioned the date is because in the same year, or December of the same year, she ended up hibernating again and reemerged April 8th, 2015. So very, very similar date. And recently, in November of this year, she buried herself again, and now it's April 7th, and she reemerged. So this is a pretty regular pattern of behavior. I don't have any other species right now that has done that buries himself for that entire several month long period and comes out almost the exact, like to the day the next year. I think that's a really cool behavior. This is a shy species. She's become much more bold as she's gotten older. She's molted twice in my care, I think, and put on maybe a ½ inch of size. So this is a very, very slow growing spider. I personally find her adorable, and she's one of the ones that kind of got me into Aphonopelmas because now I have a few of them. Love her coloration. You know, she's got the big old plump butt. So this, I don't think she was in pre-molt, obviously. I will try feeding her after I finish shooting this video and see if she'll take something because she's been going an awfully long time. But I think the cool thing about this is even though my home is temperature controlled and they usually have the same around the same temperatures all year long, and I do have a humidifier going and a heater going to help with, humidity and heat, she obviously picks up on something every year around late November, early December that tells her it's time to disappear for a little while. So I'm guessing if I looked up a little more closely to where these guys specifically come from, there's probably a cold period or a dry period in which they hibernate. So again, another really cool species of tarantula, very cool behavior. I have this girl just set up in one of the plastic Sterilite shoe boxes, which I like for my smaller species. Gave her plenty of room. Hopefully this will clear up a little bit. There we go. She gets a water dish, but I don't bother wetting down the enclosure. I will say, just kind of as a little experiment, as it started getting a little warmer around here, I did wet down one side of the enclosure to see if maybe it would drag her out and she would be like, oh, hey, it's springtime. But it didn't work. She didn't come out. She just finally came out on her own. I found her today, and it was funny because my son Roan came in and said, hey, where's that blonde spider you had that disappears every year? And I happened to check on her, and she just happened to be out. She wasn't out 2 days ago. So this is the Aphonopelma schmidti, wonderful little species. Again, as with all my tarantulas, she's kept in the low to mid 70s in the wintertime, and in the summertime, the mid 70s to 80 degrees or so. Stumbling over my words, it's been a long day. So cool little species if you can find these out there, especially for people that like Aphonopelmas. Just know it's going to take a long time for this one to reach maturity, but if you see pictures of them online, they are beautiful spiders. So Aphonopelma schmidti, or Superstition Mountain Blonde. I'm going to drop a cricket in, but I don't know if she's going to eat. Probably not. That's a little bigger than what I usually give her. She's been kind of sitting out here chilling. She's probably just waking up. So I'm not going to bother keeping the camera on, waiting for her to slowly climb over there and get it. So Superstition Mountain Blonde, or Aphonopelma schmidti. Wonderful little tarantula. Very cool behavior. I'll be very curious to see what date she comes out next year.